a year ago, Danika, we were in the tunnel at the Totally Wicked Stadium having a deep and meaningful conversation about all things Leeds Rhinos beating Castlewood Tigers in the grand final. A headline-making day for many reasons. There's a unicorn. I keep being distracted by the unicorn. Obviously, that was, having your team, you didn't play in the final the year before, but lost narrowly in the final the year before, got back, won the Challenge Cup, won the grand final as underdogs, which doesn't always happen to Leeds. What are your memories of that day a year on, and the memories of that day?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because I've been asked about this a couple of times this week, and then I saw the interview that you and I did. I think I saw that this morning, and my memory of it from when I got asked on Saturday morning versus this morning is completely different. I remember it being a bit weird and a bit tense, just purely because it was a Friday night. Everyone was complaining about where it was, and rather than looking at the bigger picture, I'd have to work in the morning anyway, so I had to go teach in the morning and then left work early to go and get prepped. So we didn't have the same prep as normal. Went over, and that cliche thing we talked about earlier. Say it's just another game, but it wasn't. It was on Sky. It was on Sky, and then there was a whole nother. It's like you say about the referees having to go and just ref the games with the new rules. It's like nobody preps you for what it's like being on TV on Sky, and how we'd given the shout to go out the tunnel, and we went to walk out, and like, no, Sky's not ready for you yet. And it was always like, oh, that's another spin of like. And I remember it being a spectacle. And I remember when we did finally walk out the tunnel, and the fire cannons and the guards of honor and whatever, and the mascots and the lining up, and just there was a little bit of extra all the time. And every now and then you're like, oh yeah, remember we're in the final. And I remember it being we'd been in the Challenge Cup final, and that was such an amazing day. And I think whether it was because it was Friday night, it was an evening game, I don't know. I remember it just being very tense, where the Challenge Cup game, we played very much as a squad. And I remember the grand final being quite tense between us, and whether that being, but I think we were two tries down, weren't we, very, very quickly. And whether it was that or not. But I remember not remembering the final whistle go, and then somebody saying it's over and Tasha taking it in. And then there was a fine line between the euphoria of winning a grand final and how great the whole occasion was. And we were on Sky, and Fran was being pulled for a man of the match speech, and then being given the check for that we hadn't been prepped about. Like, nobody said that if you get man of the match, you get a check to give your chosen charity. Lots of things now that I think retrospectively I can think about. And I just remember, and I don't ever really remember the game. It's like you say earlier, as soon as that kickoff goes, you're in that zone and you play that game, and you've got a job to do, you've got a role to do. But yeah, I remember it being, and then there was a big focus on the girls because they were leaving to Sydney to play in the nines the day after. I just remember thinking that like it was a real pinnacle moment in women's rugby. We'd obviously won, and that was fantastic. But I think it was just that real pinnacle moment in women's rugby. We were on Sky, when everything the men would have had, in terms of how the pre-match, post-match was run. I remember just being really proud of the sport in general. I know that sounds really cliche, and I think that's it's been a year yesterday since I last played a game of rugby, which is just insane. So it's kind of bittersweet in the sense that I remember it so fondly, and I remember how great the game was, where we'd got to, where we were moving to. Betfred had come on, we'd have to rush and get Betfred put on our shirts for the sponsors. So I think maybe a very whimsical way that I look at it, rather than we were Leeds Rhinos, we won the grand final, whoop-de-doo type of, if that makes sense to you. But yeah, what a great occasion that was. What a great occasion. And Kelsey Gentles from Cash, she retweeted some of her pictures out, and despite losing, she said, what an experience and what a step forward. And I think that's now what we look at, because we haven't had anything this year. So yeah, I'd do it all again right now.
Nothing else happened on that day. Nothing else happened. It was all right.
I mean, I'm a positively focused woman. I found my zen today, so I don't want to ruin my zen. I've got my unicorn. I've got my zen. I'm in a happy place. I'm being whimsical and reminiscing about all the wonderful things that used to be women's rugby.
Now,
You've got pre-season to look forward to as well, and the pain that comes with it.
2 weeks tomorrow.
now, secretly, obviously, you want to be out on that field, but I'm guessing 2021, new season, new year, new kit. So you won't have to wear that yellow one.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to. We haven't worn it yet.
Huh?
Who knows?
Collector's item. Has it got the champions badge on like St Helens have?
I don't think so.
So we'll start the campaign. We'll get on to whoever it is at Betfred or the RFL to get you special badges on your shirts. I really wind up all the other teams as well.
Do you know what? Should we just get back to literally? Honestly, I'd go back to playing just on the field. At the local rec at the minute. So just want to get the game back and get training with the girls and get playing some sport again. I've had some really. I've got some friends at school who have been trying to keep me in check, and we've been playing tennis and badminton. Unfortunately, I have to say, neither of which I will be taken up in retirement. Badminton maybe, but I've got some friends that are trying to keep me sane with some sport. So I've said to them, trying to play a bit of touch rugby, but it's been boycotted somewhat. So any kind of arranged sport, organised sport would be wonderful.
I wouldn't get in the way of one of your first serves.
I mean, I can't really serve very well I'm much better at badminton.
I can imagine the venom that is behind it.
Well, I play with a wonderful woman at school, Rochelle, and who is a little bit older than me, should we say. I call her my mum at school. And I was playing against her, and she was like, "Take it easy." But actually, she's the one with the wicked serve and the wicked shot. So, yeah, I'm not very coordinated when it comes to rackets and shuttles and balls and stuff. So, it's not really a problem I have to think about. But yeah, anything organised would be wonderful. And we had that thing during lockdown, didn't we, where Sky kept on playing highlights of the final. So, what was?
Glory days. I mean, at least now you've picked up a tennis racket. I believe you're ranked in the British top 10 there, so congratulations on that.
Well, there you go.
An old joke there for the.
I still get it though.